And this just in, Ontario blinking in its fight with President Trump. Ontario's Premier Doug Ford says he will pull those ads that made Trump so mad that he ended trade talks with Canada. Scripps News White House correspondent Haley Bull is live now with the latest. And Haley, the president was up late posting on social media on this. What do we know about his thinking on the issue?
Yeah, Del, we are told President Trump was appalled by the ad used out of context in his view and is taking this seriously. And officials here in their comments have given the indication that frustration has been growing in those trade talks with Canada. What's notable in the Ontario Premier's statement, though, is that he's not moving to pull that ad right away, waiting until Monday, until it airs during the World Series games, he wrote. But after speaking, he says, with Prime Minister Carney, he says he will pause that U.S. advertising campaign on Monday so that trade talks can resume, the Premier wrote on social media platform X. Now, a White House spokesperson ahead of this told us that good faith efforts with officials there, quote, have not led to any constructive progress. The spokesperson adding that the ad was the, quote, latest example of how Canadian officials would rather play games than engage with the administration. Now, this all started when the Ronald Reagan Foundation accused Ontario of using an ad with what it called selective audio and video. It says misrepresented former President Ronald Reagan's address, then focusing on the stance on tariffs. Now, Trump accused Canada of trying to influence the Supreme Court as the administration's tariff policy goes before it, hangs in the balance based on that decision. Trump accusing Canada of cheating and announcing the end of trade negotiations after learning of that ad. White House National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett saying this earlier today.
I think the frustration has built up over time. I've been involved in some of these negotiations, and the Canadians have been very difficult to negotiate with. And you look at all the countries around the world that we've made deals with, and the fact that we're now negotiating with Mexico separately reveals that it's not just about one ad, that there's frustration that's built up.
And this all comes as both Prime Minister Carney and President Trump head to Asia. Trump expected to take part in economic-focused summits while there. Also expected to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping during that trip. This is as he has threatened an additional 100% tariff against China absent reaching a deal after China has moved towards more sweeping export controls on rare earth material. Hassett saying relations with China have improved recently. At the same time today, though, we are also seeing the administration start an investigation into Chinese compliance with a trade agreement reached under President Trump's first term, Del.
Haley, how is Canada responding to all of this?
Well, we have seen, as you just mentioned, that development with Ontario now saying that they'll wait until Monday to pull the ad in hopes of trade talks resuming. But earlier today, we did see Prime Minister Mark Carney weighing in on this discussion, acknowledging that they can't control the trade policy of the United States, but taking a different stance towards the progress made in negotiations, calling them constructive, saying this.
And it's in that context that our officials, my colleagues, have been working with their American colleagues on detailed, constructive negotiations, discussions on specific transactions, specific sectors, steel, aluminum, and energy. And a lot of progress has been made. And we stand ready to pick up on that progress and build on that progress when the Americans are ready to have those discussions, because it will be for the benefit of workers in the United States, workers in Canada, and families in both of our countries.
So, Del, we are waiting to see how the White House reacts to the latest move out of Ontario. It remains to be seen if those talks open back up, get back on track. Del.
Yeah, those ads will still be played in that game involving the Toronto Blue Jays and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Scripps News White House correspondent Haley Bull. Haley, thank you very much.